All right, hopefully you've watched the video on ethos, logos, and pathos. I want to talk a little bit more about ethos. We'll talk about, in particular, credibility. So, ethos stands for credibility. You've got to establish yourself as somebody that's credible. What does it mean to be credible? You're believable. I often say, why should we listen to you? What makes you qualified to talk about this topic? And if you're not credible, it's going to be a lot harder to convince your audience. So there are sort of three phases to credibility. There's the initial credibility. This is what you come to the table with. This is why I ask you to give a credibility statement. Now, in the real world, a lot of times you'll have somebody introduce you. You won't have to include a credibility statement because that's what they're going to do. And this is why they do introduce speakers to give the credibility. Here's this person. Here is why they are credible. Here is why they are an expert on this topic. Here's why we should trust what they say. So that's initial credibility. That's at the start of the speech. Then throughout the speech, you're going to get what we call derived credibility. That's the credibility you get during the speech. How do you get it? By being trustworthy. So your demeanor, your posture, your body language, and perhaps more importantly, citing sources. By citing sources, you show that you have done the work, you've taken the time. And by using high quality sources, not just any random website, but high quality sources show they give you credibility. They loan you credibility. That you get credibility from their credibility. It's derived from them. So I'm going to cite an expert that's going to make me look better because this expert looks good. I'm look better because I used a good source. And then you have at the end, so that's derived as during the speech, and then you get to the end of your speech. After the speech is over, we have terminal credibility. This is what you have at the end, and it's basically a total of your initial and your derived credibility. It's what they think about you at the end of the speech. So you can come into a speech with high initial credibility. Ooh, this person seems really smart. They really know what they're talking about. And then you don't cite any sources. You make a terrible argument. You are don't really seem enthusiastic. You don't seem knowledgeable. You're going to have bad derived credibility. Well, that's going to mean at the end, you're going to have a low terminal credibility. Think of terminal credibility as what they think of you the next day. Oh man, remember that guy or girl that talked to us yesterday? Man, oh, they were terrible. I don't believe anything they said. Or you can have it conversely, have a low initial credibility. Why should I trust this person? They don't know anything about it. Oh, they're really prepared. They have lots of sources and they're really good. Then you're going to end up with high terminal credibility. So to review, initial, what you start with. Derived, what you get during the speech, either from your performance or citing sources. Then terminal is what you have at the end. All right, that is all I wanted to say to you about ethos and, in particular, credibility.